Can you buy and sell a house at the same time? Yeah. Okay, bye. Just kidding. My name is Elena Kovrigin. I live and work in Asheville, North Carolina, and here's my intro. In this video, I'm gonna give you some tips and things to think about when you decide that it's time for you to either downsize or move up into a bigger house. Obviously, if you are watching a video about buying and selling a house at the same time, you've been through a buying process at least once. And you know exactly how stressful it can be. If it was not stressful, congratulations. I tend to think about it the same way I think about some parents who have a very easy first baby. It sleeps, it eats, and you're like, I got this parenting thing. And then the second baby arrives and it's a complete opposite. And then you're like, what just happened? All I'm trying to say here is that second transaction can be very different from the first transaction in your first experience. But the good news that with some preparation and some guidance, especially from your realtor, anything can be achieved and it can be a very successful transaction or two transactions. There will be a lot of things that will be out of your control when you try to buy and sell at the same time. On one side, you have buyers who are looking to buy your house, their realtor, their attorney, their inspectors, their lender. There's a lot of things that can go wrong or can fall through the cracks due to some reasons that are out of their control as well. And then you have sellers who are selling a house that you're looking to buy, and those sellers have their own realtor and attorney and a lot of other circumstances why something may not work out. So as you can see, some things will be out of your control, but here are the things that you can do to make sure it goes smoothly on your end. One of the first things that I would do if I decide to buy and sell at the same time is going to the lender. Unless you're a cash buyer, you probably need to talk to the lender and get pre-qualified. You need to explain that you're trying to sell your house, and the lender will be able to tell you whether or not you need to sell your house in order to qualify for a new mortgage. Also, the lender can tell you things like how much down payment you need, how much your monthly payments will be. All those things are very important when you try to buy a house. Then you need to prepare your house for sale. You need to put your best foot forward by positioning your house in a way that will attract the most amount of buyers in the shortest amount of time. Wow, that was a lot of words. Why? Probably because you want both transactions, and that is buying your new house and selling your old house happen as close to each other as possible, if not on the same day, which can be very tricky because remember of all those people who are involved on both sides and how there's a lot of things that will be out of your control. The sooner you accept the fact that there are a lot of things that will be out of your control and things can fall through, the less anxiety you can have. And that is why you will need plan B, but I'll talk about it a little later. So how the heck do you prepare your house for sale? One of the first things you can do all by yourself without anybody's help. And by the way, I have a video about it. It's gonna be up here. I can never remember which side it is, but anyways, you can start staging your house. By staging, I mean start boxing stuff. You're gonna have to move anyways. So start putting stuff away in boxes and maybe even putting it in a storage unit somewhere. Presentation is one of the most important things that you can do. Once you get together with a realtor, he or she should be able to point out to some things that you can do around your house to improve its marketability or its showability or its the way it looks. Next thing, and it's as important as presentation, is price. And please don't go to Zillow to get his estimate. Go find a professional, a realtor, and talk to them and let them do a CMA, which is comparative market analysis for your home based on real numbers from local MLS. When you're trying to do two transactions at the same time, you probably don't want your house to sit on the market for too long. If you do decide to work with a realtor and let him or her sell your house, and if you don't, I have a video about it as well. It's gonna be up above my head. If you do decide to use a realtor, he or she will be doing all your marketing. but you still need to ask some questions and find out how aggressive their marketing is, exactly what they do to promote your house, because you do not have a luxury of time. You need things to be moving quickly if you want both transactions, buying and selling a house at the same time, happen relatively close to each other. Now you've been pre-qualified, your house is on the market. When is a good time to make an offer if you found something that you like? I would recommend to wait until after the end of due diligence period on your house, meaning that the buyers that put an offer on your house are done with their due diligence period and are less likely to back away. It is a safer time and better time, and in fact will make your offer stronger on a new house when you put on an offer after the end of due diligence period. You might ask, how am I supposed to line up those two closings close to each other if I'm making an offer at the end of due diligence period on my house? Well, when you receive an offer on your house and you start negotiating the price and the terms, one of the things that you can negotiate with the potential buyer is the closing time. See if they can agree to close in, let's say, in 2 months instead of 30 or 40 days. Let's say they're done with a due diligence period that lasted 30 days and they will close in 30 days from that date instead of 10 or 14 days. Now let's talk about plan B. Let's say something falls through the cracks. The buyer on your house backs out, something comes up on an inspection, something happens with the loan processing. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. In case you sell your house before you can move into your new house, your next house, where you're gonna live, where you're gonna store all your things. Are you gonna be homeless? Do you want to arrange some storage space for some of your belongings and furniture to figure out where you're gonna live? And that can be anywhere from few days up to weeks. If you have plan B, it's gonna save you a lot of headache, gonna reduce a lot of stress. I felt like we had a very good conversation, a monologue, educational session, whatever you call it. Now that you know and you got some idea about the process of buying and selling a house, why don't you refresh in your memory and watch this video about how much it costs to buy a house. See you next time.